Doug Behar, Senior Vice President, Stadium Operations, New York Yankees. We're waiting for our pal Anna Hershkowitz, the Environmental Science Advisor to the Yankees. I mean, it's a perfect time to be marrying operations and science, right? Because you guys certainly need to be working together. And while we wait for Alan and our guy Luke Cyphers to pop on, just curious for your take as a stadium operations person for what we just heard. I mean, is this second nature to you, or does even some of this surprise you for a venue like Yankee Stadium?
No, I mean, I think, I say, unfortunately, we've been at this for about a year now, kind of sorting through this and evolving and trying to evolve. And I guess the evolution of it, gets you to a point where it does feel like it is a natural place to be.
Right. Do you get, what are you hearing from the customers?
Well, there a lot of excitement to come back. We've been fortunate enough to get out some of the things we've accomplished along the way, is like getting health safety rated by International Well Building Institute, which allowed our fans some high level of confidence that we're doing the right things to come back.
Can you give me some of those? If I'm walking around the stadium with a clipboard, and that, clipboard means authority, right? You know that. If I'm walking around the stadium with my pen and my clipboard, what do I need? What are those check marks that you need to make to get that certification?
There's quite a bit, and I'm hoping you don't see some of the things that we had to do, right? So, a lot of it has to do with air quality and air filtration, things like that. A lot of the cleaning and disinfection we're doing long before any fan or guest is coming in, and we've looked at disinfection very differently than we ever had in the past. And this, again, we started this process last March with the hope that we'd be opening up at some point. And we worked with Shervin and Legends, and he assembled a group of folks, of industry experts. And, we treated Yankee Stadium like a hospital. We started thinking about what terminal cleaning meant and how to do that. And we took biological swabs of surfaces to understand what kind of pathogens exist and how do we go about correctly attacking those pathogens and doing it in a way that was safe for our housekeeping staff and those folks that are in and out of the building. And that's been part of our process and will continue to be. So I'm hoping a lot of what we're doing you're not seeing, but certainly the obvious, you'll see a lot of signage and you'll see a lot of communication and a lot of education, a lot of cleaning and disinfection as well. But things like that you're going to see throughout the building.
Yeah, I don't want to know what pathogens you're finding. I don't. Go ahead, Jacob.
No, I was just going to ask you to touch on this a little bit, but I'm curious who you're learning from. Are you learning from teams that have been operating over this winter? Are you learning from hospitals or from organizations outside sports? Who are you talking to? Who are you learning from?
So we've been collaborating with anybody who will pick up the phone or talk with us. The nice thing about the group we started working with is we worked with a group that all they do is train hospitals on how to terminally clean their facilities. So we wanted to start there. We all kind of felt comfortable. We knew how to clean our facilities, but did we know how to properly disinfect our facilities? So starting at a place where theoretically had the most germs and bacteria and things along those lines, and understand how they go about their process and what they do, and we started from there. And we still work with those folks. They're an important part of our moving forward, and it's not just about COVID. It's about any other pathogen that may exist, and keeping our facility as healthy as possible.
And tell me, for me, the first time I return to a game, it's going to be, taking public transportation, getting to the concourse, finding the right security line. How much work are you guys doing outside the ballpark?
Wait, Jacob, are you a West Side get to Yankee Stadium guy or an East Side get to Yankee Stadium guy?
Well, unfortunately, I don't live in New York anymore. But when I did, I was a D train to get to the subway, get off right there, and try to guess whether first base or third base is going to be a little shorter. I feel like I always guess wrong. But
all right, I would recommend the 4 train, because when you come out, you get that exterior view of the stadium. It's sort of that first timer. I love to watch visitors going to the stadium for the first time. You get that wow moment. after they emerge from the tunnel, but that's neither here nor there.
I agree, by the way.
Thank you.
Something
Thank you.
special.
Thank you.
I've been doing
I
it
think,
wrong
by the
all
way-
these years. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have Alan. Are you on the line? Did you dial in?
Yeah, I am. I'm on the loan. Hi. good
Okay,
to see
Alan
everybody.
Hershkowitz, the environmental science advisor for the Yankees. I mean, I think it's where we are, right? It's a sign of the times that stadium operations and environmental science advisor are coordinating. Alan, take me through sort of your process with Doug from where we were, where we are, and where you think we're headed.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for doing this webcast. This is so important because obviously sports is such an important social signifier. You know, when the NBA closed down its season, that changed the world. And, you know, with sports coming back, that's changing the world in a positive way. I think it's really important for your viewers and listeners to know that the Yankees developed a partnership with the International Well Building Institute. For those who don't know, IWBI, the International Well Building Institute, it's the world's leading building certification body for healthy buildings. And back in March of 2020, IWBI created an advisory group, a task force comprised of doctors, virologists, government officials, academics, business leaders, to focus on the COVID. More than 600 public health experts from around the world came together to create a guidance system for buildings on how to deal with the COVID. And then from within that global task force, a specific task force focused on facility operations and management for sports and entertainment venues was created, and it was co-chaired by the former United States Surgeon General, Rick Carmona. Actually, the Yankees were one of the co-chairs, as was Oakview and Legends and others. And I was one of the co-chairs, and we created a health and safety rating protocol to provide guidance to basically make sure that we did not contribute to the spread of the COVID-19. We were taking guidance from the World Health Organization, from the Center for Disease Control, but this was an international advisory, so we were drawing off health agencies from around the world. It turns out the Yankees and what we dealt with operational policies, maintenance protocols, emergency plans, stakeholder education and communication. And Yankees were actually the first sport organization in the world to go through the health and safety rating. It's an evidence-based third-party verification focused on, as I said, operational maintenance. There's more than 25 different features that had to be documented. This was all evidence-based, and documentation was required. I have to tell you that last week I did a walkthrough with Doug and some of his team through the stadium regarding the implementation of the health and safety features that these folks have put in place, and it's really extraordinary. Right now, more than 24 sports venues from around the world have followed the Yankees' lead on this, including, by the way, the Dallas Cowboys and the Red Sox and Tampa Bay Lightning. And I would encourage everybody who's on this webcast to go to wellcertified.com and look at the health and safety rating, because the pandemic, the vaccine is absolutely, essential for everybody to do, but the health impacts of our surroundings are also really urgent to address. And as your previous presenters have indicated, so much of what we're dealing with has to do with the confidence that the fans and audiences, when we're talking about theaters and other entertainment, the confidence that others are getting from the surroundings. So getting a health and safety seal, which the Yankees actually, if you go to Yankee Stadium, you'll see it, basically almost on every door, getting that seal to provide confidence to the fans that things are being done right is really essential. So, again, whether it's air quality, water quality, materials, surface cleaning, and also community transmission. So there's a whole, there's a whole protocol that was developed literally by over 600 public health experts. And I want to congratulate the Yankees. A lot of organizations are looking to be first to be second. The Yankees, really said we want to be first to be first on this. And Doug and his team, it really, took a few weeks. But every square inch of that venue has been reviewed for its health and safety implications.
Yeah, I like you saying that Yankees want to be first to be first. You have George Steinbrenner right over Doug's shoulder. It's like he's peering in the back of it, burning a hole in the back of your head there. And I don't know about you, Jacob and Doug, but suddenly I feel like playing stickball and washing it down with an egg cream.
I was born and raised in Brooklyn, and I played stickball.
As if I didn't. Alan, I didn't know. As someone who spent many a day on a stoop in Midwood, Brooklyn, I could tell, and I got that feeling. Doug, let me ask you this: are teams, professional sports franchises, are they geared toward pivoting quickly to something like this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every team has an operations department and entity, and our jobs are always to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And while I can't tell you that more than a year ago we were thinking about a global pandemic, but there are things in place that we all do. Whether it's having the appropriate resources at our fingertips and knowing who to collaborate with and how we're able to react and respond very quickly. As I said earlier, we started this plan, in March of 2020. We hoped that we'd get to open at some point in 2020. So we just try to stay ahead of it and prepare as best we could.
Well, you're almost there. Do you get the sense? Joe Lacob said it before. The pandemic's, what did he say? It's over. It's almost over. Are we in agreement with that?
Look, we're excited about opening April 1st and have the opportunity to showcase our stadium to our fans and bring the excitement back to the baseball and into the community here in the Bronx.